Welcome back to Endeavor. So this is kind of part 4 of our concepts around teaching people how to do this. Now again, this is pretty much exactly how we introduce in our seminars. Don't get shot, don't get stabbed is the first drill. We have them move around, we get them moving right out of the gate. Then we talk distance versus control, get them back into the drill, do it again. Then we start talking about different angles, still staying to the front of the body. Now we have to start addressing the reality of the situation, which is I'm not going to magically end up in this position where I have my hands on. Now the reason that we start hands-on primarily is because it allows us to get into a very active drill where they're physically pushing and pulling on each other and takes away the variables of the impact that goes into it. So it's actually safer. Okay? If I want people to move more aggressively, keeping them in contact allows them to move more aggressively. Then once they get comfortable, we can start to slowly separate them and they understand how the drill goes. The reality of the situation is that it's not going to be like active shooter, magically gun is in my hands, right? If that was the case, then there would be an weird fucked up disarms, like grabbing on and punching through and doing all that type of stuff. But the reality of the situation is, even if I'm staged in a doorway, so he's coming through the door and the gun's coming in first, I'm not going to magically have this gun in my hand. Yes, it might be coming through, but if I'm working against cover, I've got to initiate and get a hold of the gun as it goes. So those traditional concepts you see a lot of people do where they're kind of grabbing the gun and folding it up over top, or maybe I'm going, okay, I want to go fingertips down and doing that type stuff, or fucking God's sake for the VIP stuff that we used to always teach, which is kind of makes me hate myself, but where I'm coming from the back and I'm going to get the gun and doing some weird twisting motion. The reality is that's not going to happen. Whether I am 2 feet away, 6 feet away, 10 feet away, 30 feet away, for me to clear from point A to point B as fast as possible, I am running. I am diving, I'm driving as fast as I can. It doesn't look fancy at the end of this. I'm not going to run into a full sprint, stop myself, and try to get a hold of the gun. So if we start getting in reality, okay, cool, I'm about 10 feet away from him, he's got that gun out, he's shooting at people, I see an opportunity, I decide to go for the gun, it's going to be impact when I hit there. So if I decide to go for the gun, he has it out and pointing, it's going to be more along the lines of here, where I'm running into his arms. As I go into it and I dive on it, I'm going to be in a weird, fucked up fight over this, right? So now we're into our control position, we're into our hands, and now again, he's trying to get his gun back, he's trying to point it at me, and I've got to find and get into a position where I'm not giving up, hopefully my back, and I'm also not getting in a position from I'm not getting shot, I'm not getting into bad positions, right? This is what people don't understand with active shooters. In an active shooter situation, they're not standing here like this, right? I don't get to be in a position where I get to decide, okay, what's the angle of my defense, what's the angle of the attack, when do I get to go into it? Sometimes it's split decision stuff and it's smash. Most of the time it's split decision stuff and smash. If I am moving around shooting people, I see you coming and I pull the gun away, or I see you coming and I point the gun at you, you've completely changed things going in, so I can't be fancy about it technically. So how do we start to drill this safely? We go ahead and we just let them slightly outside of reach, about 2 to 3 feet. And now it's still don't get shot, don't get stabbed. I'm still just trying to get a hold of this. Now I can go hands, I can go body, I don't care what they do from here, but they're starting from a close enough range that they can again drill and move safely. And the second I engage the gun, he starts trying to point the gun back at me, and then we're right back into don't get shot, don't get stabbed, right? So we start the drill out here, 2 to 3 feet away, enough that I could reach out and touch him if I needed to, but far enough away that I'm not already in contact. I initiate, go in, go to my grab, and immediately he starts trying to point the gun back at me, and we're back. Don't get shot, don't get stabbed, and he's pointing into it. So now we're starting to create a little bit of realism with that separation as it goes in. So that's kind of the fourth little concept that goes into it. It's not a technical thing. The gun is not magically in my hands. I don't get to pick how well my grip is and what grip I get. I have to cover distance really fast. It's going to be very explosive. It's going to be big, ugly, gross motor. And it's going to look more like a fight over a gun, not a gun disarm. We'll see you guys back for the next